Bernie residents what happens when it rains hard.
Whenever there's flooding, I usually go a certain way. If I want to go to school or I want to go to a friend's house, there's always a certain path I take.
But sometimes you just can't avoid it.
Today I got stuck going to work in San Antonio, so I turned around and came back. Old San Antonio Road, which was flooded, Herf, which was flooded. River was okay, but then when I turned up Plant, it was backed up pretty good.
Some people have dubbed the city of Bernie as Flash Flood Alley.
We get those big rain events. When that happens, we have a lot of water come down very quickly.
Roads become creeks and neighborhood streets are sometimes impassable. Just a small example of a much bigger concern Bernie city leaders have.
We have other areas that when we look at an actual 100-year or a 1% chance flood event to happen, that we could potentially have some structures that might get water in them.
A plan is in motion to protect homes and keep roads clear for emergency vehicles in the event of a major flood. Bernie has hired a consultant to gather data and come up with a list of projects to tackle first, and soon there will be money to pay for it. In 2019, City Council approved a new stormwater drainage utility fee that took effect in January. It'll bring about $600,000 a year. An average household will pay about $4 a bill.
That money can only be used for fixing stormwater problems.
The city hopes to have a list of projects by the end of the year and a few improvements done in about 2 to 3 years. In Bernie, Patty Santos, Ksat 12 News.
I will be Mrs. Speedy until my last breath, just as I promised on our wedding day last year. Until I meet you one day when it's my time on the other side, and I hope the first thing I see is your face.
Ruby Feedy mourning the unexpected and tragic death of her husband James Feedy, who was shot and killed. They had just celebrated their 1-year anniversary in March and had just bought a home.
We fell in love with it within 5 minutes. We knew right away that it was our home. When we bought it, we moved in about 3 weeks ago.
Converse police say they were dispatched around 8:25 p.m. on May 5th to the scene of a major crash on Loop 1604 in Greytown Road. Feedy was transported to a nearby hospital and was initially assumed to have injuries related to just the crash. Police say it was the medical staff who later discovered Feedy, in fact, had a gunshot wound to his upper torso.
I just don't understand how someone could do this to another human. I don't understand how this could happen. He was such a good man, such a good man.
Ruby says her husband worked for Uber Eats. He was driving this red Nissan Pathfinder while out on his deliveries. Police say they did discover a gunshot to the exterior of the SUV.
He wasn't the type to be out there making enemies or anything like that. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what could have happened to him.
We shut all the doors around us, and then about 7:23 is when I heard all the windows just shattering in the house.
Thankful to be alive, but now sorting out the storm damage.
10, 15, 20,000. The roof alone is going to cost at least 20,000.
Dehanna's resident Suzanne Cook is praying for federal assistance from FEMA.
There's a lot of people that lost a lot in this town. Yes, we're a little town, but we still have people and we still need help just like the big cities do.
Insurance adjuster Thomas Flores says that they've been busy since the severe hail damage and tornado that touched down Wednesday.
The best we can tell people is it's going to be anywhere between 3 to 10 days out to be able to get people taken care of, but we were that swamped.
From what he's seen, he believes
there will be federal assistance on this because, they're not going to let people just hang out there like that.
Kay Markle is skeptical. She's the president of the board of directors for this RV co-op, which caters to those 55 and older.
I would appeal to anyone who can get us some help with funding on some of this stuff because we are all retired people. We don't have an income. We are retired, many of us just living on Social Security.
Like her neighbors, Markle is dealing with the aftermath of the storm.
This is your home. And, people live in these, and suddenly you can't live in these. Any help that we could get from any source would be wonderful.
Japhanie Gray, KSAT 12 News.
In just the first 5 months of this year, 2,515 vehicles have been stolen in San Antonio. Police say that's an increase of over 12% compared to this time last year.
You know, it doesn't matter what kind of car you drive. All vehicles are potential targets of being stolen or burglarized.
This is a list of the top 10 most stolen vehicles in San Antonio, and if you drive a pickup truck, your chances of becoming a victim are slightly higher.
I've had friends who've gotten these stolen, throughout, high school and all that, and when they were recovered, they were already torn apart, or they were already over the border.
This weekend, SAPD will provide anyone this free service. VIN etching. They will etch the vehicle identification number, a unique code used to identify your car, into all of the windows. Police say the etching makes it harder for crooks to sell parts off your vehicle or sell the vehicle itself.
It's one of those things that you do get with having these trucks, but we love them, and we just got to stay aware of where we park and what we keep inside.